What if one day the world stopped making sense? Doctors stood in silence. Scientists had no answers. And something happened that broke every law of nature. There are moments when heaven steps into the human world, not through thunder or lightning, but through a quiet miracle, a miracle that whispers, "I am still here." These aren't stories of fantasy. They are real, witnessed, and investigated by the Catholic Church itself. Events that defied logic, that silenced doubt, that forced even non-believers to fall to their knees. So stay till the end, because by the time we finish, you may never look at faith or at life itself the same way again. Part 1. The reality of miracles. Miracles are not magic. They are moments when God bends the fabric of nature, not to impress us, but to remind us that He still holds creation in His hands. For thousands of years, the Catholic Church has treated miracles with extreme care. Every reported event, a healing, a vision, an unexplained phenomenon, is examined under microscopes, studied by doctors, observed by theologians, and questioned by skeptics. Only after years, sometimes decades, if every natural explanation fails, if every scientific law collapses in front of the evidence, then, and only then, does the Church say, "This is a miracle," because miracles are not given to prove that God exists. They are given to remind us that He never left. Every approved miracle is like a fingerprint, pressed gently onto history, a divine signature that says, "Heaven is still close." Part 2. The Miracle of Lanciano. In the 8th century, in a quiet Italian town called Lanciano, a priest was preparing to celebrate Mass. He was faithful, but his heart was filled with a silent battle. He wondered, could the bread and wine really become the body and blood of Christ? Could this mystery truly be real? That day, as he stood before the altar, he whispered the sacred words of consecration. "This is my body. This is my blood." And then, something impossible happened. The host he held in his hands began to change. The bread turned into real flesh, and the wine became thick, living blood. The priest froze. His hands trembled. The congregation gasped in shock and awe. That miracle was preserved for centuries. Then, in the 1970s, scientists were allowed to test it using modern technology. Their results stunned the world. The flesh was identified as real heart tissue, the left ventricle, the part of the heart that pumps blood to the whole body. The blood type? A B positive, the same found on the shroud of Turin, the cloth believed to have wrapped Jesus' body after the crucifixion. Even more shocking, the cells were still alive. No chemicals, no preservatives, no human explanation. For over 1,200 years, that flesh and blood have remained intact, as if time itself stopped to protect it. And through this miracle, God answered not only that priest's doubt, but the doubts of millions who came after him. Part 4. The Miracle of Lourdes, the waters that healed millions. In 1858, a 14-year-old girl named Bernadette Soubirous, from a small French village called Lourdes, went out to gather firewood. But that day, something happened that would change history forever. As Bernadette walked near a rocky cave, she suddenly froze. Before her stood a lady, dressed in white, a blue sash around her waist, a rosary hanging from her hands. The air felt alive, peaceful, holy. The lady said nothing at first. She only smiled. Then, over the next few weeks, she appeared 18 times and revealed words that would echo through time. I am the Immaculate Conception. Bernadette, uneducated and poor, could never have invented those words. But the Church recognized something divine was happening. At one of the apparitions, the lady told her to dig in the dirt. Bernadette obeyed, and from the ground, a small spring began to flow. That spring still flows today, and from it, millions have drunk or bathed, hoping for healing. Doctors began documenting the impossible, blind people seeing, the paralyzed walking, terminal patients suddenly healthy. Each case investigated for years with no medical explanation. Even today, more than 70 officially verified miracles have been approved by the Catholic Church from the waters of Lourdes. But to those who go there, it's not the water that heals, it's the faith that opens the door to God's mercy. Because when hearts believe, heaven moves. Part 5. Modern miracles when heaven touches the present. Miracles did not end centuries ago. They still happen, quietly, humbly, often in the lives of people who never asked for attention. In Buenos Aires, 1996, during a Mass, a priest noticed a consecrated host had fallen to the floor. He placed it in water and left it to dissolve, as church law commands. Days later, the host had not dissolved. Instead, it turned into living tissue, again, human heart muscle. Years later, that same miracle was tested, and the lab report matched exactly with the Lanciano miracle from 1,200 years earlier. Same blood type, same tissue, same divine fingerprint. And across the world, people have witnessed similar signs: bleeding statues, Eucharistic hosts, radiating light, images that exude fragrance, and sudden healings that doctors can't explain. Heaven doesn't need the spotlight. It just needs a quiet heart that still listens, because faith isn't built on what we see. It's built on what we feel deep inside, when God whispers, "I am still with you." Part 6. Why God allows miracles, the meaning behind the mystery. Many ask, why doesn't God perform miracles for everyone? Why does he heal one person and remain silent for another? The truth is, miracles are not rewards. They are messages. Every miracle carries a purpose, not to prove God's power, but to awaken faith in a sleeping world. Sometimes God heals the body. Other times, he heals the soul, quietly, invisibly. The deeper miracle is not when sickness disappears. It's when a broken heart learns to trust again. The Church teaches that miracles are signs, not proofs, because the greatest miracle ever performed was not in water or in blood. It was in love. The love that carried a cross. The love that said, "Father, forgive them." The love that conquered death itself. Part 7. Message to us. Faith in a world that's forgotten God. We live in a world that believes only in what it can touch, but miracles invite us to look beyond. Every heartbeat, every sunrise, every act of forgiveness, these too are miracles. Small signs of God still breathing in our lives. The message of every miracle, from Lanciano to Lourdes, is the same. Heaven is not far away. It's right here, waiting for you to notice. So the next time you feel lost, remember, God still moves. He still listens. And sometimes he still shows his face in the most impossible ways. This is the word of the Catholic, where faith meets the miraculous. Maybe you've never seen a miracle, but maybe you are the miracle. The fact that you're still here, still believing, that's proof heaven hasn't forgotten you. When faith feels lost, God sends a sign, and maybe this story was that sign for you. This is the word of the Catholic. If this touched your heart, like this video, share it so someone else can feel the same peace, and subscribe for more truths that keep faith alive. Comment below. I still believe in miracles. And don't forget to tap the bell icon so you never miss a moment when heaven speaks again.